Teacher talking sports with those would do how we live in. When you think about the 2022 NBA offseason, one of the major storylines was Donovan Mitchell getting traded from Utah. Many people, many thought he was going to be traded to the New York Knicks. Lingered for quite some time. Many trade rumors came out regarding who the Knicks would deal. Trade seemed like they would have to give up a ton. Eventually, he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers instead, so the Knicks missed out on Donovan Mitchell. Well, Scott Perry, who was the GM for the Knicks since 2017, his contract actually ran out in this past year, in 2023, mutually agreed to part ways with the Knicks, no longer with the franchise. Well, he talked about some things today, including Donovan Mitchell. So this is via New York Basketball's X page. Let's take a listen.
Donovan Mitchell, who's an excellent basketball player, multi-year All-Star, tremendous young man, New York kid.
That New York kid thing was big. We saw him at Mets games. That gave people more reason to think he was coming to the Knicks. He made it known he wanted to go to the Knicks. Just didn't happen.
But you got to ask yourself, if the other team that you're trading with is wanting to take 2/3 or 3/4 of all of your good young talent and all of your draft capital, is what is left behind going to be good enough for you to win or be better than what you are, if you just hold on to what you have and be a little patient. So that's the thought process in that. And obviously we made a push to trade for him, but it was going to be done within reason. We felt that because he was a good player, but he needed more around him to win. Because if he was that singular force, Utah probably would have been in the conference finals.
Right. That's a big statement right there, and probably true. I remember, Stephen A. Smith at one point. Donovan Mitchell had a couple great playoff games, and he basically was calling him the best player in Utah history, as if Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Adrian Dantley never existed, which was crazy to me.
If he was that singular force. But he wasn't that singular force. Again, and that's not a criticism on him. That's just an evaluation that you must make. And those are the tough evaluations.
All right, so those were some of Scott Perry's thoughts on Donovan Mitchell. This, per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, this was what he believed was the reported deal. The Knicks and Jazz discussed the deal in early July of 2022 that would have sent R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, now on the Pacers, Mitchell Robinson, and 3 unprotected first-round picks to Utah. In a different discussion between the sides, the Knicks refused Utah's request to include Quentin Grimes with Barrett. The Jazz were willing to accept a deal with Emmanuel Quickley instead of Grimes if the Knicks included 3 unprotected first-round picks, but New York would only give 2 unprotected picks, with the third having a top 5 protection. Me personally, as a Knicks fan, I'm glad the deal didn't get done. Jalen Brunson definitely exceeded expectations his first season with the Knicks. Definitely would have been a small backcourt, him and Brunson. And, the Knicks played the Cavs in the first round of the playoffs last season, and they beat them in 5 games. Donovan Mitchell was not an efficient scorer in that series. Of course, there's still rumors that he may end up on the Knicks, as he has not yet agreed to an extension with the Cavaliers, and he will be a free agent after the 2025 season. To be fair to him, how many players can you really consider singular forces, like guys that can carry a franchise, other than like a Joker or a Greek Freak? Maybe a Joel Embiid, although he hasn't made the conference finals yet. So not many guys who could carry that stature. Durant's missed a bunch of games with injuries. LeBron and AD missed a bunch of games with injuries. Damian Lillard misses a bunch of games with injuries. Kawhi, Paul George, I could go on. So not many guys that, you could say single-handedly could completely change the stature of a team. But Scott Perry with some interesting thoughts. What are your thoughts on what Scott Perry had to say? Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.